Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving deep into what could be one of the most dramatic political shifts in modern South African history. A tale of power, betrayal, legacy, and political ruin. We're talking about none other than former President Jacob Zuma, a man once hailed as a liberation hero, who now stands accused of delivering the final blow to the African National Congress, the very party he once led. For over a century, the ANC stood as the backbone of South Africa's liberation struggle. From the days of Nelson Mandela to the hopeful era of Thabo Mbeki, it was the party of moral authority, of reconciliation, of rebuilding. But in recent years, cracks have widened into chasms, and many are now wondering if Jacob Zuma's relentless defiance has finally brought the house down. Since stepping down from the presidency in 2018 under immense political pressure, Zuma has refused to fade quietly into the background. Instead, he's remained a constant thorn in the side of the ANC, whether through courtroom drama, headline-grabbing statements, or his growing political influence outside the party structure. Let's be clear, Zuma's departure from the presidency wasn't a peaceful retirement. It was a political purge. Forced out by his own party amid mounting allegations of state capture and corruption, Zuma left office with a chip on his shoulder and fire in his belly. And it seems he's been hell-bent on revenge ever since. Rather than toe the ANC line, Zuma has repeatedly taken aim at the party's current leadership, especially President Cyril Ramaphosa. He's publicly dismissed the ANC's direction under Ramaphosa, condemned the party's handling of internal dissent, and most explosively, lent his support to new political formations openly challenging the ANC's dominance. One of the most telling moments came with the rise of the MK party, Umkhonto we Sizwe, a breakaway group invoking the name of the ANC's historic armed wing. Zuma aligned himself with this party, and while he claims it's not a betrayal of the ANC, the message to many South Africans was unmistakable. This was Zuma's declaration of war, not against the opposition, but against his own comrades. But Zuma's disruption hasn't just been political. It's been deeply psychological. The ANC has been bleeding credibility and voters. From struggling municipalities to national decline in trust, the party has lost the aura it once carried. Youth voter turnout is collapsing. The ANC's once dominant grip on provinces like Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal has weakened dramatically. And many analysts trace this disintegration directly to Zuma's prolonged scandals and his divisive legacy. Let's talk about those scandals. Zuma's presidency was marred by one corruption case after another, from the infamous Nkandla scandal involving state-funded upgrades to his private homestead, to the explosive revelations of the Gupta family's undue influence over cabinet appointments and government contracts, what became known globally as state capture. Even after his presidency, the legal storm has not relented. Zuma continues to face corruption charges related to the arms deal, defied the Zondo Commission, and in 2021, was infamously sentenced to 15 months in jail for contempt of court, a decision that sparked riots across KwaZulu-Natal, leading to over 300 deaths and billions of rands in damages. For many South Africans, this was not just lawlessness, it was an eruption of deep frustration, tied directly to Zuma's defiance and the ANC's failure to hold him accountable earlier. Political analyst Sipho Mackay's recently noted, the ANC was already standing on shaky ground. But Zuma's actions have made it clear, the party is now a house divided, if not collapsing. And what's more damning? Zuma's influence still runs deep. Despite being sidelined, he still commands loyalty among certain branches of the ANC and holds sway in areas like KwaZulu-Natal. He has repeatedly endorsed candidates opposed to the ANC mainstream, and his public rallies draw massive crowds. These aren't the actions of a retired politician, they're the maneuvers of a kingmaker in exile. Within the ANC itself, Zuma's spectre looms large. There are growing rifts between the old guard and a younger, reform-minded generation. The party's attempts to distance itself from him have mostly failed, and in some cases, only intensified the divisions. Calls for a leadership overhaul grow louder every day. Some insiders are even whispering about a complete rebranding of the party, something unthinkable just a decade ago. And it's not just internal politics at play. Zuma's antics have global implications. International investors, already wary of South Africa's unstable energy grid and economic stagnation, see political instability as a red flag. The country's image abroad has taken a hit, and Zuma's continued meddling doesn't help. What's most tragic is what this means for ordinary South Africans. The ANC's internal chaos has led to poor service delivery, a weakening public health system, rising unemployment, and a growing sense of hopelessness among the youth. While the political elite clash in parliament and the courts, millions are left wondering if any party truly represents their needs. So, where does this all leave the ANC? Can the party that once led South Africa out of apartheid now survive its own internal sabotage? Or are we witnessing the slow, painful death of a liberation movement that forgot its roots? One thing is clear, Zuma may no longer hold office, but his shadow still hangs over Luthuli House like a dark cloud. Whether through courtrooms or campaign rallies, through speeches or silence, Jacob Zuma remains a central figure in South African politics, not as a builder, but as a disruptor. And as we move closer to upcoming elections, his role will only grow more controversial. Will he fracture the vote enough to hand power to a new coalition? Will the MK party rise as a real threat? Or will his continued presence galvanize the ANC to reform, finally and fully? Only time will tell. But what we are witnessing now is not just the political decline of a former president, it's the unraveling of an entire post-apartheid dream. Thank you for watching. If you found this breakdown insightful, please give the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and drop a comment below. Do you think the ANC can ever recover from the damage caused by Jacob Zuma? Or is the party too far gone? See you next time.